Hello, everybody. This is Sebastian Ortiz, and this is Tankenberg News from the highest point in Twente, the Netherlands. This is episode 3. You don't get a crypto billionaire making a comment on your show every day. So I want to personally thank Roger Ver, who is currently hijacked, kidnapped, held hostage in Spain for making a comment in our most recent episode. And I pray that he will be released as soon as possible. Now, I want to say, what is Tankenberg News? Well, Tankenberg News is definitely not a limited or incorporated company. Tankenberg News does not show up in any register of companies anywhere in the world. There is no bank account that can be frozen as far as Tankenberg News goes. So Tankenberg News, now that I await for the resolution of my appeal and application for residency here in the Netherlands by a judge and cannot work, I can say that Tankenberg News is an artistic project. It's just a guy hiking the mountain and making videos which he posts on his YouTube channel. And as far as income goes, it seems as if, as per the gospel, where the left hand does not know what the right hand does, because of technological advance, such as Monero, if someone somewhere donated to Tankenberg News, this would not be visible to anyone in the world. So Tankenberg News is not a job. It's an artistic collaboration. If you go to No Hay Almuerzo Gratis, link below, you will see how you will see how I use my wife's paintings as background. So Tankenberg News is a historical collaboration. I was talking to a church singer from Hengelo here in Twente, and I was telling him I'm having some problems, not personal problems, theological problems, and he told me about the book The Climbing of Mount Carmel by St. John of the Cross, Spanish writer, and how once you go up so high, that the mountain becomes like a diamond, and you're at the top and there's only God between you and the mountain. It's very difficult to communicate it to other people. Now, I know that there are those who are not believers in our audience here at Tankenberg News, and do not be disturbed. There is an important value in the literary tradition, even of religion. I, of course, like to promote local economy, whether I'm in a rich country or in a poor country. So here at Tankenberg News, we would like to thank Professor Andreas Kinneheim for writing this book, De Onzichtbare Maat, Archeologie van Goed en Kwaad, an archaeology of good and evil. Because there he emphasizes the important value of tradition, the literary tradition of the Western world. Another inspiration for Tankenberg News as an artistic project was the very kind Jesus Huerta de Soto, professor of economics, who was kind enough to send me his book on banking and economic cycles. Now, Professor Huerta de Soto in a lecture talked about the gospel when Jesus found himself in the desert, kind of like Moses, and the devil took Jesus to the highest mountain and said, "Look at all the kingdoms in the world. They are all under my command. Worship me, and they will be yours." And of course, if you look at the Calvinist theologian Gary North, who worked on the homeschooling curriculum with Ron Paul. I should say that homeschooling is only defended in the European Union in the country of Ireland, in the Constitution. You cannot homeschool here, really. But if you look at Gary North's Calvinist theology, he says that with the resurrection, Jesus took back the world. And so this belongs to him. Disturbing, I know, for our atheist watchers, but that was one of the inspirations for Tankenberg News. It was not only rescuing the tradition of the literature of the Western world, which includes Costa Rica and the Netherlands. I should say that Costa Rica and the Netherlands once belonged to the same Habsburg crown. But also something about just being able to speak. For a time, crypto billionaire Roger Ver, who I know watches our show, was not able to speak about his case in Spain, where he is now trapped because of very stupid claims by the tax authority of the United States, where he renounced his citizenship 10 years ago, that he owes taxes. And for a time, he was not able to speak, to give interviews as advised per his lawyer. And so there's something about just being able to speak your mind that we should cherish. Now, Tankenberg News is also about news, and the most ridiculous news of the year 2025 is Jeff Bezos telling the Washington Post how, now that Trump was shot in the head, everything will be about personal liberties. Well, I want to tell you something about my work experience. In the year 2015, I was invited to the Property and Freedom Society, and I got a job at a company that was not amazing. And I said, I have some prior commitments this year, so I'm gonna have to take this week off when I started working there. I passed with flying colors the examinations of the training class, and then I was one of the top performers. I know this because they showed us the metrics. And then after a month, I was fired. I was not told why I was fired. But I knew that the founder of the company, this company was not amazing, read the email. So I sent an email to the founder, and then I got an email from the Human Resources Department saying, we looked up at your dismissal and it was done according to company policy. Still no explanation. So I find it ridiculous that last year Roger Ver publishes a book and he's held hostage in Spain. A book that Thierry Baudet mentioned here in the Dutch Parliament, The Hijacking of Bitcoin. And I find it ridiculous that only now that the political tune has changed, Jeff Bezos has told his editorial team at the Washington Post that now the Washington Post is all about personal liberties. This is the most ridiculous news of 2025. From the highest point in Twente, the Netherlands, I am Sebastian Ortiz, and this is Tankenberg News, Twente at your feet.